I did not assemble the list of bosses myself. I had Green Man do it, and I had him assemble like the picture with the name of the boss as well. Yeah, so I haven't seen any of them, I haven't heard any of them, I haven't played the games, I haven't watched playthroughs of the games. This one kind of reminds me of the monsters from you know the live action Scooby-Doo movies? But yeah, this guy reminds me of the live action Scooby-Doo movies. Um so I think he's kind of just going to be a little bit of a grunt. I'm going to put him here. Beast possessed soul. All right. Watchdog of the Old Lords. Also, is the music too loud? Alright, Watchdog of the Old Lords. He kind of reminds me of, what's his name? Red Wolf of Radagon? Like the one you fight before you fight Renala? I think it's not going to be too big of a problem. I think the main problem with him is just going to be fire damage. And like having to like, you know, roll and put yourself out. So I'm going to put it weak foe. Weak foe. Merciless Watcher. Is this the one, or do you fight all three of them? I'm gonna assume you fight all three of them. As far as I know of Elden Ring, the fights where there's more than one enemy tend to be a bit harder, but they also just look like people. They just look like people, and they look a little bit stupid and like clunky. So I'm thinking it'll be like Fia's champions when they're just kind of like easy, but there's three of them, and that's what makes it harder. Weak foe. Weak foe. They're gonna go in weak foe. Undead Giant. He doesn't look that big, but it's hard to tell with the scaling behind him. Like, obviously he's not gonna be as big as Fire Giant, but the sickles, it makes me think he's gonna be like, you know, slicing and dicing us. But you know what? I'm confident. I'm gonna put him in weak foe, and I'm gonna stretch him out. Yarnum, Plumerian Queen. She's also in handcuffs. Or like, what are they called? Like stockades or something. So like I think during her fight she's gonna like break them off and then like, you know, go at it. But she's also already stabbed and bleeding, so it's like a corpse bride type situation. I feel like it's hard to tell. Like if they're pretty, they could be an absolute nothing, or they could be an even bigger threat. I'll put her in fair fight. You know, maybe we'll die to her a couple times, but it's probably just because we're looking at her, because look at her. She doesn't look that bad. Lauren Silverbeast. This just looks like a grunt. This looks like a normal enemy that you'd find in like, you know. Oh, I forgot this is the category for Chalice Dungeon, which I assume is a DLC pack, or like a DLC dungeon. So I'm gonna put him in not even close. These two are grunts. These two are like the manual laborers of the dungeon. And I kind of want to change my ranking for her, because I think she might be like, she kind of looks like she'd be the final boss, or close to the final boss. Ooh, I'll keep her there for now. We might change her later. Abhorrent Beast. Ah, there we go. Look at him. Look at him. He's ugly. That means he's probably strong. I don't think he'll be too fast. I think the main thing is he'll just be strong. I don't think it's gonna be like a Malekith thing where he's also just very fast. So I'm gonna put him. It'll take a few tries. You know? Pretty fair. You marry an elder. Ah, we can beat up the old man. We can beat up the old man. Not even close. He's got elder in his name. Not even close. Get down there. Forgotten Madman. He's got a gun. And a sword. I feel like he's gonna have like NPC AI. Or like, you know, like player AI. And that's the thing I always struggle with. Or at least I struggled with it a lot in Elden Ring. Is just the ones that have like player AI. So I feel like for us, it'll probably be like fair fight, maybe take a few tries, just because I struggle with the player AI. Brain Sucker. What a name. He also kind of looks like a grunt, but he looks like one of those grunt enemies that's gonna like grab you and then just drain your entire health bar because they like grab onto you and like just don't let you go. And for that, I mean, it's kind of difficult because I want to put him in weak foe because he wouldn't really be that strong. But if he gets us, then he'd be strong and he'd probably kill us. But I think I'm gonna put him in weak foe because if we can get our hands on him, he's dead. Bloodletting Beast. This just looks like the Abhorrent Beast. I'm gonna put him with the Abhorrent Beast. He looks a little bit fiercer though. He kind of looks like he'd be a second phase of Abhorrent Beast. Just put it there. Man-eating boar. Dude, he's smiling. Look at him. Look at him. Dude, he looks so happy. I think he only has 2 legs. Where are his other 2 legs? Whatever. He looks very happy. I'm gonna put him in not even close. He's just a happy little guy. We can get him. Numerian descendant. Oh. So there's a descendant, an elder, and a queen. So obviously the Numerians, this is like the dungeon. If he's a descendant, I assume he protects the queen. And I think the queen would probably be like close to the we'll put him in kinda hard. Because I think he protects the queen. I think the queen herself probably isn't that bad, but he looks like he protect. Keeper of the old lords. Kinda anticlimactic. He just looks like a dead player. Like he looks like a dead Bloodborne like character. So he's obviously gonna be like a gatekeeper, whatever. But I don't think he's gonna be that bad. I think he's just kinda like, you know. We'll put him in weak foe. He's probably secretly OP. Nah, I think he's just like a gatekeeper. You gotta kill him to get some keys and that's it. Lawrence the First Vicar. Are vicars the same thing as priests? I assume they are. So he's just like, you know, he's a man of God. He's a man of God, also looks really ugly. And apparently he's a DLC boss. So I'd assume he's harder than the main game boss is. But also, in terms of the DLC itself, I don't think he's that bad. I mean, I guess we'll see when we see the other ones, but I think he's gonna be like maybe Malekith levels, where he's kinda hard, but you'll get him. Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower. I've heard of Lady Maria, because Green Man's talked about her a little bit, but I don't remember anything about her. I just know that people like Lady Maria, and I see a bunch of, like, fan art of her. So I assume she's people's wives. I think she's gonna be tough because player AI, and also she's like I know she's like a fan favorite character, so I think they probably made her fight really tough. Like kind of like Melania, where a lot of people like her, but they like her because she's tough and also pretty girl. I think that's what they did for Maria. Orphan of Kos. I mean, he's just an orphan. How hard can he be? He's got no parents. Just kick him. Just kick, like, he's like a malnourished old man that grew up on the streets. Oh no, maybe because he grew up on the streets he's probably a little bit tough, but like, just kick him. Or make fun of his dead parents. Not even close. I mean, he does have a big, like, blood sword. We'll put him in weak foe. You can just make fun of his parents. Living failures. Oh no! Oh no! Look at him. Alright, I mean, it's kind of sad for them. But at the same time, I mean, they're literally called living failures. They can't be that hard if they're branded as failures, but there are 3 of them. And I feel like they're gonna be hard because there's 3 of them. I'm gonna put him in fair fright, maybe a few tries. I'm gonna put him right there. Dude, it's Ludwig. There was a mosquito on my mic. I can't tell if that's like a centaur body or if it's just like... I think it's supposed to be like a centaur type body. And then he has like his own face grafted onto his arm like Godric and the Dragon Head. I think he's gonna be like the hardest of the DLC bosses. He's also called Ludwig the Holy Blade. I'm gonna put him in kinda hard, but we'll get him. I feel like the harder the boss looks, like visually, usually means it's like kinda hard, but like not really. I feel like based off of Elden Ring, the hardest bosses are the ones that like are a mid-tier visually. I'm gonna put him in kinda hard, but we'll get him. Father Gascoigne Beast. I don't know how this is a boss. He kinda just looks like a normal enemy you'd see walking around the world and you just backstab and then they're dead. So, because he just looks like a normal grunt enemy, I'm gonna put him in not even close. Not even- oh, dude, I really like the man-eating boar. I really like the man-eating boar. He's a funny little guy. German, the first hunter. German, whatever. I mean, he's got a scythe, and he's also German. I don't know. I like the "you died" text overlaid atop the image. We're gonna put him in weak foe. We're gonna put him in weak foe. German, we could probably kill him. Martyr Logarius. He's also like blocking the door, so maybe he's gonna be like the draconic tree sentinel, where you like have to kill him to get into like a main area. And because of that, I think he's not gonna be that bad. I think he's gonna be tough because you have to get past him for the game, but I don't think he's actually gonna be that bad. Fair fight. Fair fight, because obviously it seems like you have to be able to get past him, so they don't want to make too much of a roadblock. Murgo's wet nurse. I mean, it's a nanny. You can kill a nanny. They take care of babies for a living. How hard can she be? She also does have knife hands, and several of them. So maybe she would be a little bit tough. But she's also just a nanny. Weak foe. I feel like I'm being very cocky because I've put nothing in the pain and suffering category. Mikolash, host of the nightmare. So he put his head in a cage, but host of the nightmare makes me think he's gonna be like insane and have like some kind of magic. So maybe fair fight. He's gonna have magic and that's gonna be tough. Giving yourself a lot of credit for some of these. Well, how am I supposed to know? Dude, moon presence? You can see the moon behind him. He looks huge. And he's also very spindly. He kind of reminds me of the thing from Ronnie's route. I forget what it's called. Something of the Unborn. Astral of the Unborn or something? This is what this guy reminds me of. So I think he's going to be very difficult. And also just look at him. He looks cool. And I like his arena. His arena also just looks cool. I'm going to put him in... I mean, do I want to be cocky? I think it's gonna be very hard, but like, I kind of want to just be cocky. Whatever, we'll put him there. One reborn. I cannot tell you what's going on in this. What is happening in this image? I think he's kind of like the moon presence maybe, where he's just got like a really big, long, skeletal like body with like some like pustules here and there. Like, he looks like his actual self is just the skeleton on top and the rest is just like a mech he's piloting. So, you know what? We're gonna put him in kind of hard. He's probably gonna be kind of hard. Rom the vacuous spider. Ew. First of all, he's ugly. Second of all, he looks like he gets put in a separate water arena like Renala's second phase. And because he has like his own arena, I want to assume... I feel like bosses that get their own special arenas, like... where they're like cool decorative arenas, should be harder. But also, I'm gonna crush him. Crush the bug. Weak foe. Shadow of Yarnum. I assume this is gonna be another one where it's like a cult, because there's 3 of them in the photo, and they have like snake things coming out of them. They also have different weapons and like fire. I assume this one back there with the mace and like the torch is like, because he's hanging back, like maybe he throws stuff at you. And I always hate the fights where there's just one that throws stuff constantly. I feel like they're not gonna be that strong, but I'm just gonna get annoyed. Like, they're just gonna annoy me. So, actually, if there's one that throws stuff, fair fight, because I'm gonna get destroyed by the throwing stuff. There's Vicar Amelia and Vicar Amelia Boss. Oh, I guess so she has 2 phases. I mean, this is just woman. This is just woman. I assume you're gonna kill the woman and then her boss form's gonna come out. Which is like a wolf. Oh, is it gonna be like a Little Red Riding Hood, like a granny eaten by the wolf type thing? So I think it's gonna be like a Radagon and Elder Beast situation, where Vicar Amelia, as like her human self, is like, we could beat a... I don't think you're allowed to say that. I assume it's gonna be like that, where it's like, you know, first phase, super easy, not even a fight, you can just beat them and they won't do anything about it. Like, you know, they won't do anything about it. But then you're gonna feel like all sad. There's gonna be like a cutscene that plays that's like, oh, boo-hoo, like, you killed a praying woman of, like, whatever, like, you killed a nun, why would you do that? And then she turns into this big wolf and then just absolutely decimates you. That's what I feel like is gonna happen. I'm gonna put her first phase and not even close, because I feel like she'll just let you wail on her. But then her boss phase, I feel like, is actually gonna get difficult. But I feel like I feel like it's gonna be one of those things where they try to surprise you with it, like, early on. So because it's gonna be early on, I'm gonna say, like, fair fight. Maybe a few tries, because you'll be surprised, but that's it. Witch of Hemwick. First of all, she's disgusting. Second of all, I don't want to look at her. Third of all, get down there. Actually, she's a witch. She might throw stuff. I don't like the enemies that throw stuff at me. Ew. Amygdala. Why are all the Bloodborne enemies so gross? So I think this one's gonna like jump around the arena and like, you know, like wail, like just flail its limbs everywhere like really fast. I think this one's just gonna be really fast. That's gonna be the main problem, is how fast it is. But because it's fast, it's gonna be hard. He's gonna go right there. Blood-starved beast. Haven't we already done this? Wait, wasn't... Oh, abhorrent beast, blood-letting beast, and then blood-starved beast. I mean, he's also just not as chunky as the other beasts. I'm gonna put him in weak foe. He's just a scrawny little man. Scrawny little man. Celestial emissary. Ew, look at its children. This is like if Renala wasn't a pretty woman, and instead of like her and her like weird bowl cut scholar children, she just had like these little gross like aliens. I think probably he's gonna have like a lot of magic and stuff. And like, I don't think he's gonna actually hit. I think he's just gonna send out like a ton of magic and like keep spawning his like weird kids, and then that's what's gonna hit you. So I think like you have to just like crowd control with him and like dodge. But I don't think he actually has like, you know, melee attacks or anything. So if you can get past his children, I think you'll be fine. Fair fight. I also like how there's just there's no structure to the sizes of these things. I'm just cramming them in. Cleric Beast. This one is official art, so I guess there wasn't a good screenshot of him. Which makes me think he's not that important or difficult if like there's not a billion images of him online. He looks like, yeah, this one, Lawrence, the first vicar. He looks very similar to Lawrence the first vicar. Like with the way his arm is. And he's also a cleric. I think he's gonna be like the precursor, where you meet him early on in the game, and then later in the game you meet Lawrence. I think I want to put him like between, but there's no between. I'll put him in weak foe. Dark Beast Parl. I can't really tell what's going on, but I think he also has like a really just long like centipede body. He's also got really long like fingers. So I think he's gonna like grab you. And he has like electricity, so it's probably gonna be like electricity filling the arena, and you're gonna get like AoE damage or like shock damage. So I think we're gonna put him in kind of hard, because he's gonna give you shock damage. A Britas, daughter of the cosmos. Ugh. Wait, are those its eyes? Oh, are those its eyes? The little green things? Why are they so far apart? I don't know if I want to say she's like the final boss or not. She kind of looks like she'd be a final boss just because of like the weird balance of like Lovecraftian and ugliness. I'm gonna put her in pain and suffering. I think she's gonna be difficult, like really difficult. That thing is a girl. I think so. Father Gascoigne human. Why is he labeled as human? Did we see another Father Gascoigne here? Oh right, there was Father Gascoigne beast. So I guess these are phases. If we put the beast in not even close, we're gonna put the human in not even close. He's gonna go right there. I think man-eating boar is gonna be really fun, and I think living failures is a really funny name for those bosses. I think this looks about right for our Bloodborne rankings. Probably extremely wrong.